So if you go on the internet these days, a lot of content talks about how the modern woman doesn't submit to men, how men are supposed to be leaders in relationships, but women don't want to submit, right? Those videos come a dime a dozen now, very popular channels. Well, I'm here to tell you the secret, the missing piece of why that is, what's missing. If you want to be looked at as a leader, not even just in relationship, but just a leader in general, you're gonna want to tune into this video. I'm gonna give you all the secret sauce. You're not gonna want to miss this. What up guys, Jimmy here, Ingrained2train, back with some more heat with you guys. I always like to start every video off with some gratitude. And I just want to say thank you for checking in. And I just ask, if you're new here or if you're a returner, share the video guys. That's all I ask, share the video for me, help me spread this message. Somebody needs to hear this message today. Today I just really want to talk about leadership. What sparked this up was a conversation that I was having with a friend of mine who was talking to a gentleman. Essentially, he regurgitating a lot of what you hear on a lot of these popular podcasts, almost verbatim, just like his demeanor. He was really trying to be controlled, kind of overly macho, machismo. It just completely turned her off, and she wound up blocking him on all social media, blocked his phone number, blocked him on the dating app, because it turned her off, and rightfully so. And I get it, right? As men, we want to be the leaders in a relationship. But the problem is, I think there's a skewed view on what leadership actually is. And I want to break that down in the video today. If you have to resort to manipulate, control, trying to be like super authoritative, overbearing, well, you're not being a leader. You don't possess the qualities of a leader. That's not what leadership is. You're essentially a boss, and that's not attractive. People aren't going to want to follow your lead. And then those who do it out of fear. Well, how loyal they're going to be to you over time, or how effective are they going to be, or how good is your woman going to be to you if that's how it operates? That's just toxic. What you want to do is, first of all, you have to ask yourself, you got to take a hard look in the mirror and say, am I the type of person that somebody should follow? And you got to take a hard look at your life and be honest with yourself, because a lot of people who say they want to be leaders, they don't even trust themselves. They have no purpose. They're just going through life lost, confused. They don't invest in themselves. They just go about their day-to-day reacting to life, and then think somebody should just blindly follow them. Like, it doesn't work that way. If you want to be looked at as a leader, you want people to look up to you, you want your woman to submit to you or surrender to your lead, well, you have to be somebody that's people are willing to follow. And you have to embody certain things. And first things first, as a man, if you don't have a purpose or a mission, something that's bigger than yourself, well, first get that leadership thinking right out of your brain first, because as men, like, we build, that's what we do, we build things. What are you building that's bigger than yourself? It doesn't have to be a business, but what are you working on that's like bigger than you? What's your purpose? What's your mission? How are you making an impact? Focus on that first. And as you're working on your mission and you're building yourself up in that area, then you got to ask yourself, well, what am I doing to invest in myself? Are you in mastermind groups? Do you have mentors that you go to, coaches? Are you learning new skills? What are you doing to just better your life? Again, ask most people this question. It's nothing, right? They go home, watch Netflix, sports, play video games, which is fine in moderation, but what are you doing to better yourself? Who would want to follow somebody that's all they do? That makes sense? So ask them, what are you doing to invest in yourself? And I did a video on that a few months ago on investing in yourself. Go check it out. But I'm telling you that if you're not on your mission and on your purpose, and if you're not investing in yourself, again, you shouldn't even be thinking about looking at yourself as a leader yet, because you're not even leading yourself to a better life. So why should anybody follow you? You know what I'm saying? So those are the two most important parts of leadership. And then another question you got to ask yourself, well, how well do you communicate? See, what my friend told me about this guy she talked to on the phone was like, he did all the talking. He was very controlling. He was dominating the conversation. When you're a leader, you know how to actively listen and communicate. You make your team, your woman, whoever, you make them feel heard and seen. And you take the information that's given, and then, yeah, ultimately as a leader, you make the final decision, but you take it all in. It's not just do as I say, regardless of whatever you think. Like, I don't care what you think. It's all about what I want. That's not how this thing works. And with women want their feelings to be valid. They want to be heard. And a lot of times as men, we may not understand where they're coming from. So like our logical brain just kind of like, just blocks what they're saying. But like, I'm telling you fellas, when you validate her feelings, make her feel heard and seen, and you take it in and watch how she responds. Ultimately, when she feels safe and she feels validated, she'll be okay with you making the final decision without a whole lot of resistance. That's surrender, that's submission that guys say they look for. But see, that starts with being an effective communicator. One of the things that I screwed up in past relationships was poor communication. And that was in girlfriends and in business, just not being a good communicator. When you understand communication, how to actively listen, and then make the best decision for the relationship or partnership, that's traits of a leader. Do whatever I say and F your feelings, F what you gotta say. Like, you're irrelevant. It's all about me. That's fake tough guy stuff. That's not leading, that's not alpha, it's called on the internet. That's really just being controlling. And who wants to be controlled? Nobody. So it's all about building trust. All right, so if you embody these three things, now you're in position to be a leader. Now you're in a leadership position. Okay, so it starts with you. If you feel like in your relationship that, your girlfriend or past girlfriends have not, followed your lead, really combative with you, if you've had business partnerships that didn't seem to go away, always seem to kind of butt heads, well, ask yourself, how are you showing up? How am I showing up? And be honest with yourself and get some feedback, right? Get some feedback. Like when I was going through my journey, I had to get brutally honest feedback. And I realized one of my big flaws was the communication piece. I had the other stuff down. I had the investing in myself. I had that part down. But I was not an effective communicator. I had to work on that. It wasn't easy, but as I got better at it, as I learned to check my emotions, I've gotten a lot better at it. And then when I combined the other two traits I talked about in this video, that's when my relationships got better. That's when I was connecting with more people. That's when my social media and YouTube really started to blow up. Like, that energy coming off me was attractive to people, and people naturally gravitated to me and wanted to follow me. I was able to build that trust once I combined those three. Because once you do that, there's an energy that comes off of you, and people will gravitate towards you, and it'll be attractive, and it'll flow. You won't have to try to force or manipulate, and that's what I want you to understand. That's all I got for you today. If you got any questions, leave a comment below. If you haven't already, share the video. I got a Facebook group that I just created. Join the group. I put even more content, more specific things in there to help you become the best version of yourself, unlock your divine masculinity so you can live your best life, be a better leader, better boyfriend, husband, coach, father, all the things that we were meant to do. But with that said, guys, I'm checking out.